Hello and welcome to your 30-minute yoga practice. Today we are going to be spending a little more time and putting a little more love back into our hips and our hamstrings. We're going to start lying down on our backs and you're going to need a yoga strap. If you do not have a strap, you can use an exercise band, you can use a belt, a towel or a scarf. You might also like to use your yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you could use some books, you could use a chair, just to help support for balance, and if you're not going as deep as you would without the props. So we're going to lie down on our backs. We're going to start in our Shavasana shape, so taking legs out to the side, let the feet flop out. Take the arms out to the side, palms facing up, a little squeeze of the shoulder blades together. Take a little tuck of the chin as you lengthen the back of the neck. And you can just start to gently deepen the breath. So no forcing, no stress. You're starting to add a little length to both the inhale and the exhale. So even though we're focusing a little more on the hips and the hamstrings today, I would like for you to make sure that you pay attention to your entire body. That you pay attention as well to your heart space, to your emotional state. And also take time to observe your mental state. And as we move through these 30 minutes, hopefully the thoughts can lessen, the mind can quieten, you can just become more present and more relaxed. Take a last deep breath in. And a big sigh out. Slowly opening the eyes. Before you move anything, just feel how your legs with the toes flopping out are in a slight external rotation. So the femur bone is externally rotating in the hip joint, which means the knees are pointing slightly out to the side, and so are the tops of the ankles and the toes. We're going to switch that into a slight internal rotation. So I want you to start to turn your knees, like that knock-kneed feeling. Turn the knees inwards, turn the toes inwards, and then again back out. Just move in between those two a couple times, just noticing any feelings, sensations in and around the hip joints. Alright, so you can bend the knees, take the feet wider than hip distance. You can lift the hips for a moment just to settle the lower back down. Take the arms out a little wider, palms facing up. And then we'll continue with that external and internal rotation of the legs, going a little bit deeper. And now moving one leg in external rotation while the other is in internal rotation. So taking both your knees over to the right. And then both the knees over to the left. This is one of my favorite movements to do to release the hips and to release lower back. Head can stay facing straight up to the ceiling. You can just keep going side to side. Give a nice little squeeze in the buttocks of the leg that is in the internal rotation. Getting a little deeper into the thigh, into the hip flexor. On the right, you'll finish on the left, knees up, and then we'll bring both the thighs to chest. Knees can stay hip distance as you just take a little rock side to side. We're going to meet on all fours. You can either roll to your side or rock yourself forward, coming over your knees, coming onto all fours. Spread the palms, have the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You're going to move through a couple rounds of cat-cow just to loosen up the spine. So tucking the toes under, inhale into your cow pose, which is your spinal extension. And then exhale into your flexion. Tuck the chin in, curl the tailbone down. Let's move 4 more like that. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more like that. Back line, so we're going to tuck the toes under as you reach the foot back, and then just start to pulse forward and back. So this, you're going to feel a nice stretch underneath the toes, and you might also feel a nice stretch into that right calf muscle. So you can just slowly move pulsing forward and back. And then switch. Deep breaths, and at any time here, if you want to take a nice big sigh out or a yawn, feel free to do so. Alright, and then bring left leg in. Going to bring the big toes to touch here on the tops of your ankles, splitting the knees apart, sitting back into a child's pose. You're going to reach the arms forward. If your buttocks are not on the heels, that's perfectly fine. If your head is not on the floor, that's perfectly fine. You're going to explore the shape in your own body, feeling into your body today. So not expecting the same of your body today as you did yesterday. Meeting yourself where you are. This is an active shape with the palms spread and the elbows off the mat. Feel your outer shoulders roll down, and then try to sink the hips just a little deeper as you try to relax the buttocks down to the heels. Let's take 3 breaths here. Then after your 3rd breath, you're going to raise the head, keep the arms reaching forward. Lift the buttocks slightly so you can just pull the knees in to be hip distance. Split the feet to be as wide as the knees. Tuck your toes under and find a bent knee down dog. So the spine is long, the hips are lifting nice and high, head is relaxing down. You're going to keep this length in the spine. Keep the left knee as bent as it is and start to straighten out the right leg. So you might get that right heel to anchor, you might not. Again, it doesn't matter. You need to use this practice to give back to your body in whichever way it needs. Bend right knee, extend left leg. So try not to force the body into shapes. Remember, if we're stretching and opening tissues of the body, yes, it might bring a bit of discomfort, it might not feel too comfortable, but you definitely don't want any hardcore pain going through the body. Alright, let's bend left knee. Going to walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Bring them to be hip distance. Bring your hands to your shins as you take a halfway lift. You keep a little bend in the knees. Lift the lower belly. And then ease down into your forward fold. Take hold of your opposite elbows as you stack your forearms. Feet are parallel. You're going to curl the chin in. Then you're finding space in the back of the neck. And then here, a similar thing is what we just did in our down dog. You're just going to start to pedal out the legs one at a time. So this is where you might really start to feel any tightness in the back body. Okay, you're going to keep your neck long so you're not crunching in and shortening the back of the neck. And then of course, remember to breathe. Done the same amount to both sides, and then bend both knees. Release your your hands down towards the floor. Keep the knees bent, but roll your spine all the way up to stand. It's the shoulders and the head that come up last as you loop the shoulders and look forward. Well done. Have a quick look at your feet again. Make sure they are hip distance and parallel. You're not rolling onto the outer edges of the feet. You're pressing firmly down, squaring off the weight between right and left side. We'll get into the side body here, so inhaling, arms up. And then exhaling, right hand down, left arm over for a lateral opening. Back to center, inhale, and then over to your second side. And again, back to center, inhale, exhale to the right. Center, inhale, exhale to the left. 2 more to each side. High mountain, inhale, exhale to the right. High mountain, inhale, and exhale to the left. 1 more each side. Both arms up. Let's take a little bend in the knees, and then again lower yourself down into your forward fold. Once again, you can reach for your opposite elbows. Have the opposite forearm on top this time. So we have our awareness of right and left, and then we try to balance out everything that we do right and left. It might not feel the same, but that's so that we make sure we are paying attention to front and back, top and bottom, right and left. Curl the chin all the way in and take a little nod no. So as if you're saying no with your head, just nod no with the head a couple times. So you're feeling that rotation on the Atlas axis joint. Well done, and then the head and the neck can relax. Soften the arms down. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your fingertips to the floor. So this is where you might want to have your yoga blocks just at the top of the mat in case you need them. We're going to step our right foot back, and we're going to lower the right knee down. From here we're going to come into our first little half splits. Alright, so again I'm just going to show you with the blocks. Those who are not using the blocks, your hands can be on the ground. You're going to bring your right hip above your right knee. And this front foot, you can either lift it up, extend it forward, or you can use your toes to kind of pull it forward, pull it forward, pull it forward, pull it forward, and you're going to draw the toes back. Leveling off the hips. You could either stay here, if this is enough for you, perhaps just here you want to curl your chin in. If this is very intense on your knee, you can also flip your mat to have double padding. Okay, otherwise, perhaps you're going down onto a lower height on your blocks. Some of you might bring belly to thigh, you might reach your arms way forward, softening the head down. Okay, so getting deep into the back line here, we're going to take 5 long breaths. Try not to pick up any tension in the jaw, the face. Back if you're using blocks, slide that front foot back and come into your lunge. Right, so if you're using blocks, you're going to need to move them with you because this is hips and hamstrings. We're going to move from side to side on our mat, so getting that nice movement throughout the hip joints as well. You're going to raise your back knee, you can walk your blocks all the way with you. Remember, if you struggle to do this full rotation, what you could do from here is you could simply stand up. You could turn yourself around. We now have the right leg in front and the left knee down. So you can meet us here. Okay, Okay, so setting ourselves up again. If you're using your blocks, left hip above left knee. Right foot is going to move forward. Okay, looking to straighten out that front leg, drawing the toes back towards the shin. And then you can see I'm not rounding through the upper back. I'm lifting up through the sternum. Front body's drawing back, and I'm looking to tilt my pelvis forward. Hands can move forward. You could stay on the taller setting of the block. You could move to a lower setting. You can have hands on the ground. 5 full breaths here. Reminder that you do not want to be feeling any pain, so no kind of pinching pain, especially not around the back of that front knee joint. Done. After your 5th breath again, you can bring your blocks back. Bring this right foot back towards you, back into your lunge. Back knee lifts, and then you're going to bring yourself all the way back to the front of your mat into a nice long lunge. So again here you might want to use your blocks. We're going to move into a pyramid pose variation. So back heel stays lifted. Inner thighs squeeze together as you start to lift the hips, straightening out that front leg. So just a little view, you might come all the way up onto your blocks. You might even keep a little bend in that front knee. And otherwise, fingertips reaching forward, that right heel, the back foot is straight back behind you, the left toe is straight out in front of you, and you're relaxing down to the inside of that left shin. Again, we stay 5 breaths. Start to lower your right heel a little bit if possible, and then we'll come down into a lunge. Lower right knee down, take left foot out to the side, hands come to the inside of that left knee, runner's lunge. You could slip that right knee a little further back as you untuck the right toes. Staying either on the hands or moving down onto the forearms. Again, we're going to hold 5 breaths. So a little slower practice today, longer holds, but giving us the time and the opportunity to really explore what's going on in our body. So there's nowhere to hide, there's no distraction of movement. We simply stay present, we're placing our body into different shapes and using that to give us a better and deeper understanding of what's going on internally. Your hands, tuck your right toes under, raise your right knee. You're going to walk all the way across to your right. Feet on parallel tracks, meaning if there's a line running down the center of your mat, your right foot is on the right of it and your left foot is on the left of it. Pyramid pose variation, back heel stays lifted, inner thighs squeeze slightly together as you lift the pelvis, reach the arms forward and relax the head down. If you are hypermobile in your joints, make sure you're not locking into that front knee joint. Take a tiny micro bend so that you protect that joint and you're not just hanging on it. Again, at any time you can nod your head just to release any tension you might be holding there. And even if it isn't tense in these postures, can you try and soften just a little? So soften your facial expression. If you're frowning or gritting your teeth, can you soften that? Maybe you need to back off just a little bit. And then we'll come back forward into our lunge. Setting up for our runner's lunge, taking right foot out to the side, hands to the inside of right foot. You can lower left knee down. You can slide that left knee a little further back if you like as you come to the top of the left foot. Staying there or coming down onto the elbows, 5 deep breaths. Your 5th breath, pressing down into the hands. Raise your back knee. This time you're going to walk halfway. You're going to face the long edge of your mat. So again, you could be on your blocks here. You can even have a little bend in your knees. Feet are parallel to the short edge of the mat and the heels are in alignment with one another. You're tilting your pelvis forward and you're going to hang your spine down. So hands can be down towards the floor. You could reach them back behind you as you tuck the chin in. Make sure you're not hanging into the heels. So bring the weight a little to the front of the feet, or the front of the heels and the balls of the feet. And then hands under shoulders as you lift up. Coming into a squat, heel toe, the feet a little closer together as you sit the buttocks down. Maybe the hands stay down, maybe the heels lift up. Support yourself in the practice. All done. And you can come to sit down on your buttocks. You're going to swivel yourself as we started to lie down on your mat. Make sure your strap is nearby. From here, draw both thighs into chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Going to take a bridge pose as you place your feet down. Take your hands either side of the hips. Lift the hips up, bring the hands underneath the back if you can. Interlace your fingers and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lifting nice and high. Nice little spinal extension here. Getting an opening in the front of the hips. Nice, well done. Release the hands, slowly roll the spine down. Second round, press firmly into the feet, raise the hips. Take the second interlace, so change whichever thumb was on top. Press down and lift up. Release the hands and slowly roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. Well done. We're going to reach for our strap, or your scarf, or your belt, whatever it is you are using. You're going to bring both legs straight up to the ceiling, and you're going to strap around the balls of the feet. So having a look at the legs now, you want to be drawing back through the outer edges of the feet. The ankles are not buckling. You got your whole spine flat on the mat. And then we'll keep right foot in the strap, place left foot down on the mat. If this is enough for you, you're just going to stay here. You're going to work keeping equal length between right and left side body. If you want a little more, flex left ankle and extend that left heel away from you as you straighten out left leg. And then some of you might start to walk the hands up the strap. Keeping the chin tucked and deepen the breath. Strap into your right hand. Left hand comes to left hip. If the left knee is bent, you're just going to allow the left knee to soften outwards into like a little half butterfly pose. Externally rotating that right leg as you take the right leg out to the side. And then use the abdominals to pull the spine down and bring the right leg back up. Switch legs, left foot in the strap, right foot down to the floor. Again, either staying with the right knee bent or extending that right leg away from you. lift that left heel up, draw the ball of the left foot down, anchor the back body. And then again, external rotation, left leg out to the side, right hand on right hip. If the right knee is bent, you could just kind of have that right leg out towards a little butterfly pose. Eyes can close as you take the last few breaths here. And then let the abdominals help as they draw that leg back up. Bring both feet into the strap for a last time. And then you can bend the knees, place the strap to the side. Squeeze the thighs into chest and then extend right leg forward. Take left arm out to the side as you roll onto your right hip. Take the left knee to the right for a twist. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Back onto the spine, readjust, both thighs to chest, take a squeeze, and left leg forward, right thigh to chest, opening right arm out to the side, take the right knee to the left, find your twist, deep breath in, deep breath out. Onto the spine, bring both thighs to chest, and then just moving the legs independently, move through a couple hip rolls here, separating the knees, bringing them back together, soft belly, just letting the pelvis rock forward and back. Change direction. Stretch and a full body squeeze. You can curl all the way up, bringing nose to knees, and then finding our Shavasana for a moment, taking the feet out wide, taking the arms out wide, a little tuck of the chin, just softening the whole body, and gentle breaths in and out. Eyes can close. Just give yourself the last couple moments on your mat. To do so. If you're needing to move, find a full body stretch. Knees can bend as you find a nice little squeeze. that works for you. You'll rock up or roll up, find a seat. Hands down on the knees as you close your eyes. Just finding a last couple breaths here. Anchoring into your body, grounding down. Noticing once more your head space, your heart space, your body space. And honoring that as you move off your mat into the rest of the day. A last breath in together. And sigh out. You can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining. Hope your body feels great after that. Remember, please don't try and force your body into anything. Use as many props as you need. If you love these or if you found them really challenging, add them into your daily practice. Add them in every second day, or make sure that you redo this practice at least once a week. Have a beautiful day further, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon.